Hi friends, welcome back to Keep It Simple with Maria on YouTube. For a long time, I've been stuck. I was stuck in a rut at work and relationships, really within myself, and I just was not able to move forward at all no matter what I did. The answers didn't come to me when I asked for them or when I wanted them to, but I finally got the answer as to what's been keeping me stuck, and it was fear. It was fear of failing at work, fear of failing myself, fear of failing my family, fear of failing everyone. It somehow ended up becoming the number one thought in my head, even though I've done all of this work to make sure I live a faithful, positive life. I had to do some reassessment to understand how this happened, and it was pretty easy to understand. It was pretty easy to see that the people I was surrounding myself with were constantly complaining, talking about negative things, talking about what's going wrong. So much so that when things would go right, it would only be talked about for 30 seconds or so, and then we would move on the conversation into something negative again. After about 3 years of living that way, I got to a point in my life where I was very unsatisfied with my work. I was so unsatisfied with my life and my own self that I just didn't even know where to begin. And because I've already gone through so much in life, it was extremely defeating. I thought to myself that I've already gone through all of these hurdles. Why would I have to go through more? That doesn't make any sense. But sure enough, I leaned into what I've learned throughout all these years and all of these experiences, and I realized I have to save myself by changing my mindset. And even though I may have done all of these great things to help myself, it's not enough. That's why they say you have to fall in love with the journey, because it's never enough. You're always going to have to fight a new battle. You're always going to have to grow more into the best version of yourself. So guys, if you've been feeling stuck in life in all areas, whether it's work, relationships, yourself, creativity, it's not an external factor, it's a completely internal factor. You have to remove fear. Because when you have fear, you can't think, you can't listen, and you can't act accordingly. And to get yourself out of these ruts, you have to be able to listen, think, and act. When your brain processes fear, everything gets switched off, so you're not able to think, act, or listen accordingly. Furthermore, I decided to test this theory at my work. I removed fear. I would have these meetings with my manager and clients, and whenever they would ask certain questions that I didn't have the answer to, I just had this fear wash over my body. Even though I'm brand new to my job and it's okay to not know, I couldn't help it. That fear would take over my body whenever they would ask something that I didn't already have the answer to. By becoming consciously aware of that and talking myself through that fear process, by reminding myself, hey Maria, why don't you just listen to what they're saying instead of thinking about how fearful you are if they ask you a question that you don't know the answer to. Instead of thinking about my own thoughts, I began taking the time to listen to theirs. And slowly but surely, I ended up getting myself out of that rut. Thank God. Look, it's easy to get in ruts, and sometimes it's even harder to get out of them. Once I realized it was fear that was getting in my way, I was asking myself, well, what can I do? How can I get rid of this fear? What action can I take? And the answer was that there isn't a specific action I can take to overcome fear. All I have to do is stop thinking about it. Just let it go. Let it talk by itself. Just let that fear be in the background and just don't give it any attention. What you focus on, you feed your attention to. So we have lots of different things going on in our minds at multiple times of the day. Just leave that thought alone. Just don't ever feed it any attention or energy. It doesn't make sense. Not to mention, ever since 2020, the world has only gotten more confusing, more chaotic, and more hectic. So stay centered. Don't forget to go on a walk. Don't forget to nourish your body. Don't forget to get enough sleep. Don't forget to take care of yourself, because nobody reminds you enough to do that. Love y'all. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week.